Hey, I'll be showing you how to play Human Interface Nakamura Tower. I have everything set up here, but first things first, I'm going to go through everything you need to set up and play the first scenario. This video will be showing you how to play the first scenario in a fairly condensed manner. I'm not going to go through literally every single rule at the start. I'm going to do a series of videos and various scenarios to show you to get you to learn how to play the basics of the game, and so you can get a kind of organic feel of how the game flows. So first things first, you're going to want your character cards here. The first scenario calls for Harvey Scott and for Tomo Kosuda. What you're going to want to do is your game probably came with these little acrylic red pieces. They slide onto the card to denote your starting Cybershock level. So, brief thing about the cards: you can see that 6 is your physical, your health. 6, speed 4, 5 is your mental skill, and this 3 here is your starting Cybershock level. Cybershock is you have to take a Cybershock test when you are infected with a virus, or you willingly take a Cybershock test in exchange for using some really cool cyber gear, like so some of the characters have some cybernetic muscles that allow for like really cool close combat attacks, but if you use them you have to do a Cybershock test, but I'll be going over that in just a moment. And then on the side here you can see a collection of both team abilities versus personal abilities. You can see that the All or Nothing and Spirit of the Revolution are common to both Harvey and Tomo, but each of them have their own team abilities. Now, the game centers around this deck of cards here, the can-do cards. They replace dice because they have an uneven distribution of the cards 1 through 10. So make sure you shuffle these, and you'll be drawing these instead of rolling dice. By the way, in almost all instances, you're going to want higher can-do cards. Higher is almost always better, with the exception of taking a Cybershock test. For a Cybershock test, you want to draw lower than your mental skill, because it makes sense that higher mental skill is better. So if Tomo here drew this 8, then this would be a failed Cybershock test, and his acrylic thing would go up 1. Pretty simple. This game as a whole, playing it, I see a lot of similarities to Imperial Assault, Infinity, and the hacking is just a little bit of Netrunner, just in the basis that you have cards and you're trying to second guess your opponent. But yeah, so say we have our character cards set up here. You're going to want to go through these 2 decks here. Your deck with your weapons and equipment, and then your deck with your character equipment. And you're going to want to dig out the default equipment that each character has. So Harvey Scott's initial Kruger, and then his muscles and his biokinetics cyber body. You can see what they do there. These symbols down here, these indicate that if you are equipping these on a character who doesn't have them as their default, then they increase the Cybershock level by that amount. So if you had a character who didn't have a default cyber body, you could equip this on them, but raise their Cybershock by 2. For these characters, you can ignore this. Their starting Cybershock level accounts for the fact that that these are their default equipment. You don't have to do 3 plus 2 plus 2. No, it's just 3 for Harvey here. And likewise for Tomo Kosuda, he has the Raiden, the Cyber War helmet, and the Viper 6 cyberneck. So, and then one other thing is that you have access to neurochips. Neurochips are these little tokens here. I recommend punching out all of the commercial level ones You can see their rarity in the upper left there, calm for commercial, and I'll explain how you determine which ones to use and which ones to equip later. But for now, I recommend equipping the ninja and the databank on Tomo, and then the pain blocker. And where did his other one go? Let's do Zen for Harvey. Each character can equip 2 neurochips. Some characters have special abilities that allow them to equip more, but for now, just assume that each character can equip 2. And then you have the Muramasa drones. These guys are going to be your enemies in this game. You can either play them with the AI rules, or another player can control them. But they have their own card here. They have a base physical of 4 and speed 3. And they have the Nakamura chain gun. You can see that they only have 1 wound. They're pretty paper thin. They go down almost instantly if you hit them. But their chain gun hits really hard. Does damage 7 or damage 5. So yeah, you don't want to get hit by these guys. And then I'll get to the hacking phase later. But for hacking, you're going to want hacking cards here for the Urmensch. These are your hacking cards, and the green ones are the hacking cards for the artificial intelligence. I'm just setting these aside for now. And then to the board. The scenario book has the layout you want for the board, and it shows that these green spaces are where you start, and where the drones are supposed to start. So you can see I've replicated that here. The drones always come in at this point, and then you're going to want to punch out the doors and the unlock symbols, and you have the terminal, which is going to be your objective in this first game on the bottom left corner. So I'm gonna go through the basics of playing the real world phase of Nakamura Tower. The phase of each turn is defined into the cyber warfare phase. Then you have the real world phase, and then you determine what the drones do, and then basically repeat. This mission in particular, you want to get Tomo to hack this terminal successfully, and you have 4 turns with which to do it. So I'm gonna actually technically there's a little bit of hacking or preparation for hacking you can do each turn. For simplicity's sake, I'm going to get into that later. I just want to cover basics of moving and shooting and do that first. Just because it's the first mission, we really want to get you into actually playing the game and see how the game plays, and then we'll dive into hacking. So central to the real world phase is anytime you activate a unit, you have 2 actions. Sometimes people have more than 2, sometimes you have 3, but you can move, you can move, shoot, but no matter what, whenever you attack, that attack ends. That attack always finishes your turn with that unit. So you can either start. If say we have a scenario like this. If Tomo is here and he attacks, if his first action is an attack, then that's all he can do. What he could do is he could move further away and then attack. But in Imperial Assault, for example, if you have a movement of 4, you can move 3, attack, and then expend your last one. You can't do that here. It's you expend all of your movement, do all of your actions as you're able to, and then your very last thing is going to be to attack every turn. Opening doors do not consume an action. It's considered free action. We'll deal with locked doors and breaking down locked doors later, but yeah. And then one thing about movement, you can move diagonally, no problem. Except when you're going through doors, you have to go straight through a door. You can't go diagonally like this. Likewise, around corners. If you have a corner, you have to go around it like this. You can't move around it like this. For determining line of sight for shooting, line of sight is determined by the center of each square. If you're trying to connect the centers of the square with an invisible line. If it intersects a wall, then you don't have line of sight. So these two guys would not be able to shoot each other or physically attack each other. Another thing is that you'll see on each board tile, you have these little red numbers here. They're called the tack modifier. What this is this represents like the amount of clutter and obstruction in a room, and the attacker always has the tack modifier subtracted from his shooting score. So the hallways are clear. That's why they're all zeros. But to represent cover in a room, this room has a cover of 1. The tack modifier is nullified. Later in certain missions, you'll be able to hack and control multiple terminals. If you control a terminal, you gain access to that room's and adjacent hallways cameras, and so everyone on your team then has a tack modifier of 0 when shooting in that room. So there is a benefit to that, to hacking terminals. Also, when you hack a terminal, you can lock the doors. But getting a little ahead of ourselves, let's deal with that later. So yeah, we've set up the board here to mirror what we have in the book. One thing to note is that this is the drone entry point. I have come across a scenario that if you get to a point where someone is standing on the drone entry point, I'm like, oh, what do you do? Because 2 figures cannot occupy the same space. What I always do is like, okay, the drone's like further down the hallway, and he can still shoot you like that. And if for some reason this guy is being dumb and he's not moving, then he's still going to get shot from these guys lining up behind him. But yeah, so might as well get started here. So this is turn 1. I'm going to try to make this as clear and as simple as possible. In this scenario, as covered by the rules here, if you take a look through them, the invading Ubermensch gang always has initiative. So both of these guys are going to act, and then the drones act. And I'll cover how the drones act in just a moment. So Tomo is our hacker. The objective here is to hack into this terminal here within the space of 4 turns. So my first action with him is I'm going to move him because I want to get his butt down to that room. Again, his speed is 4, so each move action is going to enable him to move 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2. Opening a door doesn't cost anything. 3, 4. Doors are kind of like shutters, as explained in the rulebook. They don't have like an opened or closed state. They merely are locked or unlocked. And yeah. So what I'm gonna do now is, I really don't like shooting in the reactive turn. I'll get into reactions in just a moment, as you'll see. Basically, anytime someone shoots somebody, that person or drone can react. That person or drone can either take cover, fast attack, or shoot or dodge. And I'll get into that now. So Harvey is going to cover Tomo's advance, and he's going to go 1. Now he'll just do 1 open. Let's set this aside here, and these guys can't draw a line of fire because the center points would intersect that wall there. I think it would, yeah, because it would intersect that corner, and so he's going to shoot this drone here. So how do we handle shooting? Shooting is done by adding the physical. Physical is done for both shooting and melee attack. So we're going to take the physical 6 plus. His muscles, add another 1, so that's 7. This one doesn't do anything, and then the gun he's using is a +2 to ranged attack. So he's doing a ranged attack so that he has a base score of 9. he's going to be shooting a 9, and note that he has a card, his special ability called Deadly Accuracy. He can draw 2 cards and choose one. So he's a base score of 9, and he wants to add one of 2 of these cards. So I'm going to do this face up, and he's going to choose one. 9 plus 9 or 9 plus 8. So human interface Nakamura. I really wish that they marked these better, whether this is a 9 or 6, but as is, you're going to have to flip it over first. So this is actually a 6. So higher is better for this. He wants to select the 8. So he has a base score of 9 plus 8, that's 17. And so drones can never fast attack as a reaction. Drones can only dodge. So how does a dodge perform? A drone is going to take its speed value, which is 3, and when you're doing a dodge, you always add 3 to its speed value. So it becomes a base 6, and, oh, I'm sorry, well, let's handle this. Base 6, and then draw a can-do card. So that is a 12. So that's a base 12. I said we had a 9 plus 8 here, a 17. This is actually not correct because I forgot you have to subtract the attack modifier. So rather than this being a 17, this is actually going to be a 15. But 15 still beats out 12, so the attack is considered successful. It's a hit. Where does it hit? It hits the can-do card, indicates the location of the hit as well. So the hit it hits the body, which has an armor 3. And how you determine the amount of damage it takes is you take the damage done. This is within its effective range of 4. This range here is 1, 2, 3. So it's within its effective range. Its damage is 5. 5 minus the armor 3 is 2. So this drone would take 2 damage. It only has 1 point of damage, so it's just blasted off the table. It's dead. And yeah, that's the human AI. That's the player turn for the real world phase. Now we're going to turn it over to the drones. The drones act now. So first thing you do is, this is kind of a calculated risk. First, any drones that were destroyed come back. So this guy comes back at the entry point. And first thing we're gonna do is to gauge the movement of the drones. We're gonna look at this alarm token chart that's on page 18 of the rulebook. So the alarm token chart indicates a bunch of actions that create alarms, so to speak. And the drones are going to move to whatever location has generated the most alarms. So we haven't done any terminal takeovers, no hacking gear used yet. We have used a range attack weapon, and to close time, fortunately, no, we haven't. For +1 for every character in the room or hallway. But with Tomo, we have the ninja neurochip on him, so it means no alarm tokens for presence, and yeah, so we have 1 alarm token for Harvey being in the hallway, and 1 alarm token for Harvey being in having fired a weapon in the hallway. So that's 2 alarm tokens here. The alarm tokens are merely a record keeping tool. When you have really big maps, you're going to want to track which rooms generated the most alarms, and this helps you do that. So really, we don't need the alarm tokens for this. It's just the drones are going to be attacking Harvey. So how do drones move? Drones move 1 by 1, and they will. If there's ever anything in doubt, what you should do is you should take the action of the drone that's going to be the deadliest. Drones will move, or move attack, or sometimes stay stationary and attack. So let's start with this drone here. Drones will, and the one thing defining drone movement is once you've determined your location for the drones will always move in the most direct fashion possible, and as soon as they have a viable target, they will stop and shoot. So this drone here is going to move right here. That's the most direct route possible. He can't move any further because he can't move past Harvey, and he's going to shoot right now. So we're going to handle that. So drones have a physical of 4. The chain gun that they have is a +2 to range attack actions. Harvey is in the hallway, so he has attack 0. Also, it doesn't even matter because the drones have advanced thermal optics. They ignore the attack modifier. So they have a 4 +2. That's a 6. That's a base 6. Now, you'll notice that these guys are 1 square apart. Or rather, they're completely adjacent. So if they are adjacent, then you always suffer a -3 to ranged attacks. You always want to have at least 1 gap between you, but drones are stupid and they move directly, so he's going to take on that -3. So he's going to have a 4 +2 -3. That's going to be a base 3. The drone. So let's before we draw that can-do card, let's decide what Harvey's going to do. Harvey can shoot back. If he shoots back, he's going to have a -3 because he is also in that close range. And if he shoots back as a fast attack is always incurs another -3, no matter what you're doing. It's entirely possible to hit someone on your reactive turn, but it's risky. And I kind of because these drones hit so hard, I kind of don't want to play that risk. I will dodge. Remember that dodging takes your speed and adds 3 to it. So Harvey has a speed of 4. He's going to add 3. That's 7. So let's draw the drones card. Drone was, again, 4 +2 -3. So that's a base 3 plus 6. So the drone has a score of 9. Now Harvey said he was going to dodge. He's going to do 4 +3. That's a 7. It's also a 6. So Harvey dodged successfully. Yay. Does no damage. Now let's handle the other drone. And dodging you can do as many times as you are attacked. If you have these reacted tokens here that you can punch out. These you put on your character if they ever take a fast attack or a take cover action. A fast attack action you only can do once when you're being attacked. If I did a fast attack in return here, and then this guy came around and attacked me, I would only be able to dodge from there on forth for the remainder of that turn. A take cover action is done like a dodge test, except you move 1 square to try to improve your cover. So I could have done a take cover action and then moved like this, but I'm not going to. Okay, so let's handle this drone here. So he has a speed of 3. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, and he's going to shoot Harvey. Also, one thing to know, I'm turning these guys just because I am. Everything has 360 line of sight. There's no flanking anyone. Just everyone has, for all intents and purposes, 360 degree sight. So, yeah, we're gonna shoot again. So this guy, he has a physical 4 +2 for range action, and this is ideal for him because he's not constrained by being in close combat. So he's going to be operating at a 6, and I'm going to and Harvey's going to dodge again. So I'm going to draw the card here. He has 6 plus a 5. He has a base score of 11. And Harvey's going to dodge. He has a speed of 4. +3 is 7. 7 is 4. That's 11. I think that the dodge goes through. Yep. Dodge succeeds, and Harvey is safe. So that's the end of that turn. We're gonna move on to turn 2, and yeah, there is a cleanup phase. Cleanup phase closes all doors again. Drones can open doors even though they are locked, because drones possess the master key code for all the doors. So that is something to be aware of. We're not going to run into that here because as soon as you take over the terminal, that you succeeded, and so the mission immediately ends. But just something to note. And yeah. Also, theoretically speaking, Tomo can hack the terminal remotely, but trying to hack anything remotely incurs a -3 to your can do attempt, and I don't want to do that right now. One, because it's risky, and two, because I want to get a few more turns of real world phases in first to show you how this works. Okay, so starting turn 2, Tomo's gonna act first. He's gonna go 1, open the door, which is free. 2, 3, 4, and he's gonna end there. Harvey is going to, and this isn't looking too great for Harvey. He's going to move 1 this way, and he's going to, let me see. No, you know what? No, I'm gonna have Harvey open the door here. That costs nothing, and then he's going to go move 1 this way, and now he's going to attack because I wanted him to attack this guy. So Harvey's shooting. That's physical plus his other stuff. Physical 6 plus 2 plus 1. So again, a base of 9. He's gonna be shooting an 18. 18's very good. The drone can only dodge. Drones are stupid. So they have a 6 of... Oh, I'm sorry. 18 minus the 2 here. So 16. The drone is going to dodge, and the drone dodges at a 3 plus 3, 6. 6 plus 7 is 13. Not good enough. The drone takes a hit. The hit is at a 9. It's the location of its body, because 9 is between 4 and 10. And the damage is 5 minus 3, which is 2 wounds. The drone has only 1 wound, so it's exploded. Explode. Let me put you aside here. And yeah, now back to the drone phase. This drone comes back. He's very angry. Again, Tomo hasn't done anything fancy, and he's a ninja anyway. So he doesn't generate alarm tokens. Just like last turn, Harvey generates an alarm token here, and for discharging his weapon. So the drones are going to come straight at him. So this drone is going to move. Actually, you know what? He's going to move and attack as soon as he has line of sight. I think what this... I'll have to look this up. Either this guy is going to move and shoot, or I think he's actually just going to shoot stationary, because he has line of sight. He's just going to shoot there. So he's going to shoot Harvey. Let's play it fast and loose. Let's have Harvey do a fast attack back at him. So the drone here is going to be shooting at a physical plus 2 for ranged for his chain gun. So drone is going to be shooting at a 6 plus a 4 for a total of 10. Harvey is going to be shooting at a 9 minus 3 because it's a fast attack. So that's a 6 plus a 10. It's a critical. Woo. So even if this drone had totally diesel armor, to the point that Harvey's weapon wouldn't do any damage, a critical 10 always does at least 1 point of damage. Even if it ricochets off your armor, always does at least 1. In this case, it would do 1 damage plus, the same 5 minus 3. It would do 3. It would do the same 2 damage here. Also, what you're supposed to do is when you draw a 10, you're supposed to reshuffle the deck. But I'm filming with one hand here, so I'm not going to do that. Anyway, the drone here, he goes kerplunk. And then this, and I'm going to put a reacted token here. A reacted token here. Because now Harvey, the only thing Harvey can do now as drones shoot him is he can only dodge. So this guy is going to go 1, 2, 3, and shoot him again. Do the same thing. So 6. So 4 plus, that's 6 here. 6 plus 4, that's another 10 for the drone. Harvey's dodging, so that's speed. Speed of 4 plus 3 is 7. 7 plus 9. Harvey dodges successfully. All right. So that's the end of the drone phase, and now I'm going to pause the video because I hear the baby crying, and I have to go attend to him. But now Tomo is in prime position to begin the next round, hacking the terminal, and I will cover that. So stay tuned. I'll be right back. Okay, so let's do some hacking. Last where we had Tomo. He's about to start the top of turn 3 in a hacking attempt. And so the first thing you do when you have a hacker is you account for your system resources. Here we have Tomo has 2 system resources here. For every member on his team, he gets an additional system resource. So that's 2 plus 1 for Harvey here. Looking at his equipment, he gets another plus 3 from this, and another plus 2 from this. So that's 8 total. And then I gave him a neuro chip that gives him plus 1 to system resources here. So he has 9 system resources at his disposal. And just like Harvey can do can do cards with a range attack, Tomo, when he's doing a hacking attempt, can do draw 2 cards and choose 1. So pretty great. So all right, let's go over to our terminals. Our technical networks are represented by these cards here. I'm going to select this one on the left for us and the one on the right for the AI. So the AI, what we're going to do is, this is a terminal. I think the mission defines it as terminal strength 1, which means it's going to get 1 card face down. We don't know what it is. And we are going to draw 5 cards. If we had as I said before, technically you're supposed to be doing hacking at the beginning of every turn, and there are some advantages to doing that, but for the sake of jumping right into gameplay, I wanted to do this way. We'll do hacking quote-unquote properly next time for the next scenario. But we're going to draw 5 cards because you have a maximum of 5 cards in your hand. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so let's look at what we have. And there's, of course, light everywhere. That's making it very difficult to read. So we have Comfighter. This is a virus, which is what we need is to infect somebody else's tactical network. We need a virus. We need an offensive program like that. We have an ICE, and ICE is a defensive program. And we have a Trojan Horse, which is another offensive program. But look, this is this costs 1 to install, and 2 to its strength is 2. This one here costs 3 to install, but its strength is 4. Because this is we're gonna bet all of our cards on this one blow. We're gonna go with the strongest one possible. We have another ice here, pretty good ice, but nothing special. And then we have a worm here. A worm is just a different type of virus. Let's see, +1 strength, applied -2 ski. Oh, this is pretty cool. This is a virus. This worm has some special characteristics that I kind of glossed over here. You can see you have +1 strength this, +/-1 strength that. Let me see this so you can actually read the card outside the glare. This one is +1 strength when fighting a terminal's Bastion program. Bastion program is another type of ice. And then disable 1 cyberware of your choice from one enemy character. So yeah, so a lot of these viruses have different effects, whether you're targeting a enemy hacker versus a enemy a terminal. So what we're going to do is, and this is done obviously differently when you're 2 people trying to hack each other. You're going to be doing this all in secret and whatnot. But here this is pretty straightforward. So normally it's pretty likely that you'll draw some cards that give strength buffs to other cards, some cards that grant you more system resources. Looks like we just have a variety of viruses and ices. So the protocol for this is this is our hand, and what we're going to do is we're going to deploy these and be spending system resources as we do so on our deck. We're going to install this program for 3, and you install this in order here. So you install 1. Sorry. All right, so we're going to install this face down. I'm just doing this for protocol wise because this is what you would do against an enemy hacker. And again, so we have the system resources tokens here. I'm going to do, so we start off with 9, So we have 2 3s and 3 1s. So we're going to spend a 3 to install that program there. And then, just in case, for some reason, if our program fails, that would be super freaking bad. So, the question is, so if our virus fails to beat whatever they have here, then if this is a virus, then that virus will infect my tactile network, unless I have an ICE protecting me. If I install this Agent Orange here, we would go head to head with this card versus this card, and then if the AI won, then this card would get eliminated, and then we would do immediately this card versus the ICE card. So sometimes it's worth it to have a level of protection on your tactile network. This also works vice versa. If you are fighting a terminal that is of difficulty 2, they'll often have 2 cards on their tactile network, and you will have to beat them both in a row. If you say our loadout is like this, we have 1 virus and 1 ICE, so we only have 1 offensive program. If we go head to head with this program and we succeed and we beat it, yay, and that's great. And then we go head to head with this program here and we fail, then what happens is this program gets discarded, and this will fight this program. And regardless of what happens on our next hacking attempt, this will get drawn a new card here. You have to penetrate a terminal, you have to beat everything all at once. In one go. So yeah, basically don't fuck around. Again, we were doing this is the introductory scenario, so we're doing just 1 card. So how are we going to spend these system resources? This is the introductory scenario, and we only have 1 card, so I'm just going to load this card up with strength, and the way we can do that is I'm not going to bother installing this. This program is already strength 4. I can dump system resources onto this card to increase its strength at a 1-to-1 ratio. So I'm going to dump 6 more onto it. So now it's an effective strength 10. Whereas this is, I have no idea what this is. And so I when this is player versus player, this is done, I believe, in secret. I'll have to look up the rules exactly to see how that's handled again. But yeah, so let's do the hacking now. So I guess let's draw the can-do cards. I guess we'll flip this card now, because Tomo can draw 2 can-do cards and pick one, but no matter what, he's always going to pick the higher one. So I might as well draw this now. And it is also an aggressive program. So this is dangerous. It's an aggressive program with strength 6. This is kind of scary. If we lose this hacking battle, what happens is then I opted to not install any defensive programs on my tactile network. So if we lose this battle, this program gets installed on our tactical network, and then you see this running program cost here. This means that every turn that this is a drain on our system resources. It drains our 3 system resources per turn, which really sucks. We would then be able to run a purge. You can then run a virus against a virus, an enemy virus installed on your own program, or you can do an ICE against it. But that's getting a little complicated. I won't deal with that now. Let's just make sure that we win this thing. So, all right, time to draw the can do. Oh, the one thing, is this a Bastion program? No, it's just a worm. And yeah. Oh yeah, and note that enemy hacker gets -1 action while this tactical network is infected. So things that happen in the hacking phase can affect the real world phase. So that would really suck if we got this installed on our shit. So let's make sure that this doesn't happen. So again, we have 4 strength. We buff it by 6, so we're at an effective strength 10. So things looking pretty good. So I'm going to draw 2 can-do cards, and we can choose one. I got a 6 and a 7. Okay, I'm going to choose the 6. So we're at an effective strength 16. All we need to do is not draw a 10 for the worm here. I will have to look up at what happens in ties. When you have a tie in the in the real world phase, the attacker always has to beat a tie. The ties always favor the defenders. I'll have to verify whether that's true in the hacking phase, but I believe it is. So we need to not draw a 10 here. And what is it? It's an 8. Whew. Close, but we did it. So yeah, we won this one. The 17 we beats out the 14, and so this penetrates through. We have secured the hacking terminal, which means that we now have control of all the cameras in that room. Any of our guys who shoot in that room or or adjacent hallways have an effective TAC of 0, and I believe we can lock the doors if we so please. But the objective of this mission was merely to hack the terminal at all. Also note, as I said before, hacking a terminal remotely, you can do it at any time, but it's a -3. If we had done this remotely, we would have lost, and we would have had a pretty nasty worm installed on our system, which would have taken like possibly a full turn or two to deal with, to purge it from our system. And if we didn't purge it from our system, it would really impact our system resources and hinder future hacking attempts. So you can see hacking gets it can get pretty nasty. A little bit of mind games with your opponent there. So yeah, that's basically the round here. Whatever happens is the cards left in your hand. If this had persisted for a longer turn, you can discard cards into a discard pile and then draw new cards to always form up to draw up to 5 cards. You can never have more than 5 in your hand, and yeah. So what I'll do now is we won this scenario. For the next video, what I'll do is I will play the next scenario in the booklet, and I'll start exploring some of the edge cases that we didn't talk about in terms of the rules, namely like close combat, how to actually handle close combat, and stuff like that. So yeah, I will return.